'twas a dark and stormy night, nor'easter rolling in. It's a long 12 hours, the power's out again. I pray for inner strength and that we don't lose no lives. Just another day in the first responders' eyes. Half a cup of coffee's gone, the first run comes in. A car slid off the road, there's a family trapped within. My heart beats like a hammer, I can barely catch my breath. I'm thinking the worst and hoping for the best. Yeah, we ain't superheroes, we're just ordinary people trying to make a difference, and the first on every scene. It's a heavy, heavy burden to carry all this burden when you can't unsee the things you've seen. It keeps going on when those sirens are gone.
Hey everybody, welcome to the award-winning Mad Radio with John and Sam. Sam here, John's on a plane. He is started his first leg of his UK adventure, and actually we're sending up some prayers to Canada because they're stuck in Canada right now. So John, if you're listening, we are thinking about you and wishing you all the best as you make your way to the UK. Just want to start off by saying that this show is dedicated to the 21 souls that we lost in Uvalde, 19 of them children, and our hearts and our prayers go out to the town, to the grieving parents, family, friends, everybody that was affected by this unspeakable tragedy. And we had a weekend full of remembering. A huge shout out goes out to Carry the Load. As you guys know from the whole push for the last 3 months, a badge of honor, John and I have been working really hard. We were named nonprofit partners with Carry the Load, and we're super excited, met some fantastic people this year. But really, you know, it was a somber Carry the Load. I've been doing it since 2015. And let me just tell you that, you know, minds and hearts were with the folks in Uvalde. It's a tough time in America right now. There's a lot of distractions going on, a lot of tough stuff. And I just want everybody to know, you know, we're here for the first responder community, for our veteran community. Please, we talk about it on every show. Don't be afraid to reach out. It's the most courageous thing that you can do for yourself. And it's okay not to be okay. And we don't want you to stay there. And so each week, you know, you see our partners as we do the intro or the outro of the show that come up on the screen. We've had a lot of them on the show, and tonight is no exception. We are going to, well, first of all, we are completely blessed here in Texas because we have got another organization, a family that has stepped forward to fill a need that is not going to be solved by our government throwing more money at the problem. We already know from working in grassroots, which all of our partners are in, that the problems get solved when we put our heads together at the grassroots level and we really take a step back and examine what needs to be healed out there, the populations that we're dealing with, whether it be veterans or first responders or children, whatever it is. But the more heads in the game, the more brains to problem solve, the better. And without further ado, I want to bring on the incredible people from Eagle Oak Retreat right here in Texas, in Italy, Texas. Dennise, Watanabe. I think I might have messed that up. I'm really sorry. And Watanabe. I got that right the second time. Got it. And Jessica from Eagle Oak Retreat. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And Dennise, you're joining us from Hawaii. And Jessica, you're joining us from Virginia. So we were joking around at the beginning of the show. Dennise is in the past, 5 hours behind, and Jessica's 1 hour ahead. So, this is a really cool show tonight. Ladies, welcome to Mad Radio.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to be with you today.
Absolutely. Dennise, you and I met. I was sitting at my computer and saw that you sent a message to a badge of honor, that our 501c3. And in that, you asked me to reach out to you. You put a little bit about Eagle Oak, but not a lot. I saw the website. I was like, oh my God, I got to call this lady right now. And that turned into an invitation to the groundbreaking that you all just had. Let's start with the idea of Eagle Oak Retreat, mom and dad, and kind of go from there.
Yeah, thank you. My in-laws purchased a ranch in Italy, Texas, in August of 2020. And in the next few months, they met up with Josh Goldberg and Ken Falk with the Boulder Crest Institute. And they met, and we were selected as the 9th physical location in the United States to host their Warrior Path program. And we were super excited. And, when we first got the invite and the grant and the partnership, it was like very exciting. But we really were like, okay, so what's the next step? And that happened in April 2021. So 1 year ago. And 1 year later, here we are breaking ground and building the only retreat in the 9 sites to build a retreat with a privately funded one from the ground up, with the sole intention to host the Warrior Path program and the Family R&R program.
Now, Jessica, when we met at the groundbreaking, you were like hard at work, busy as a bee, running all over the place. And that's what family does. You guys came together. Talk a little bit about the groundbreaking.
It feels so surreal that it happened, because we had been planning and talking about it for so long. And initially, I think we thought it would be a small gathering, and then so many people from the community like, we want to be a part of this. We want to join you and celebrate that day with you. And it grew and grew, and I think we had nearly 100 people, county or city officials, and Josh Goldberg from the Boulder Crest Institute show up, and we had 2 wonderful individuals that we had the honor of meeting, Randall Blakesley and Robert Bell, who are 2 Warrior Path graduates who shared their story. They shared their experience, and it was very warming. All around, it was just a beautiful day that we got to celebrate with our friends and our community.
Yeah, it really was fantastic to have the guys from Boulder Crest there and the graduates to share their stories so people could get an idea of the program's lasting impact. Let's get into Warrior Path, and it's Warrior Path with 2 H's. If you guys want to, that are listening, want to look that up at the end of the show. I'll be putting up links and everything. And the comment stream is open, so feel free to say hello, ask any questions as we go along in the show. What drew you guys to the Warrior Path, specifically Boulder Crest, and wanting to be like, we need this, we want this to operate? as part of Eagle Oak?
You know, when we researched it, it was a phenomenal program. The results are, you know, they had the results of the 18-month study of the program, and those results were stunning in a good way. But to kind of go back to why we were looking for something is, you know, we were watching all the specials or all of the highlights of 9/11 at the 19th year and then the 20th anniversary of it. And it really hit home that we needed to help, that we wanted to help. And when we met with them, they were specifically for combat veterans post 9/11, as well as first responders. And when you looked at the Warrior Path program, the results and the leaders in the post-traumatic growth field, it was like, and they selected us. We felt very privileged, very honored to be a part of that program and to be a site that facilitates it moving forward for the state of Texas.
Yeah, I had a really nice conversation with Josh at the groundbreaking, and you mentioned a key word that we've talked about before on the show, and as part of the workshop that we do with the Badge of Honor called post-traumatic growth. Now, if you guys haven't heard of post-traumatic growth, it is a key component in moving through your trauma into healing and actually utilizing what you've been through to grow into a person that thrives and has, you know, I'll call it refines purpose, because with the veterans, you know, the transition from military life into civilian life, we know that is very dramatic and traumatic for a lot. It compounds sometimes their post-traumatic stress that they may be coming out of the military with, or they actually don't receive a clinical diagnosis till after the separation. They kind of feel lost. They don't have that purpose anymore. And that's why Josh and I, we were talking about this growth that happens when you're amongst your peers, number one, because you've all been through similar things. But number two, you're also trying to find your path back to meaning. And that's what we mean by post-traumatic growth, that there's so much to grow from. And it's the same thing for first responders. We talk about cumulative trauma because first responders have, on average in a career, be 800. Research is showing 800 traumas or more. And, you know, we know that that's stacking, that's cumulative. And that, you know, same thing. They want to know that they're there with their brothers and sisters that have been through the same things, that have seen the same things. And they're led through a program, Warrior Path program, to find their purpose and be significant just givers back into the program and helping to spread the word about the program. And that is really the meaningful part, that they can grow from the pain that they've experienced. And in addition to the Warrior Path program, we'll kind of do a bunch of different things, because I want to show at the groundbreaking, your father-in-law showed everybody the grounds, what it's going to look like. Jessica, you know, we're talking about family. You guys are going to have a family R&R program as well. What does that look like and entail?
Yeah, so the idea, or the reason behind it, is our warriors are fighting these invisible wounds, so to speak, and it's contagious. It impacts the entire family. And so when we have Warrior Path, which is 1 week a month, we have the other 3 weeks available for family R&R. So families can come and stay for 2 to 4 nights at the retreat and just relax or take advantage of all of the recreational and therapeutic activities that we'll have at the ranch. And it's at no cost to the families. So it's for them to reconnect, build that community, and get to know each other once again.
That is so important. We talk about secondary trauma, vicarious trauma, because the family serves right alongside. Just because you're gone for 12 hours a day or 6 months to a year on deployment, you bring that back, and it is so vital to keeping a family unit together and connected, so that we don't have the first responder or the soldier kind of they're on parallel paths. They're doing the path together. And the more that they can find a place to talk about it, to connect over special things like horses and be in nature, enjoying that with their kiddos as well. Are there any age restrictions? Like, what's the youngest for the family R&R?
There's no age restriction.
Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to attempt my first, let's see, screen share here of the night. So bear with me right here for a second, folks. I'm going to share screen. Okay. I'm going to go here and let's see if we can bring this up. Okay. So can you guys see the screen here? So I'm on eagleretreat.org, and this is what the homepage looks like, and it really is beautiful. As I scroll down, let me just get this up here. This is what the existing ranch looks like. So you have the horses, the stables, and it really is this beautiful, folks. This is not like a professional, whatever photo that they do to make it look better than it is. Kind of like when you're looking at homes, and you get to the house and it's like, wow, that room looked bigger online, right? And it's like a closet when you see it. So the ranch is sprawling. How many acres do you guys have?
The entire ranch is 65, and the foundation will sit on 11 of the 65.
Okay, so we will go through here, and here we go. This is what I wanted to land on here. Now, the 11 acres that the retreat center will sit on is featured in this schematic right here, this drawing. Walk us through, because this is built on the Boulder Crest model, right?
Yeah, they gave us a list of things that were part of the program. So we took all of those all the components into consideration and laid it out. So there's 2 bunkhouses. And to kind of you asked why we picked Boulder, the Warrior Path program. Mm-hmm. The other part of that is it's a peer-based program, but it's a small group. So it's no more than 8 participants. And there's 7 instructors that have been PATHH graduates. So there's 2 bunkhouses that are 8 bedrooms each, 4 bathrooms, Jack and Jill, that will house the instructors in one and the participants in the other. There's the commercial kitchen. It's an iron kettle building that will be for, healthy meals that will be served there. And then we have the Roundup, which is the meeting space where they'll have meetings and facilitate different parts of the program within that space itself. So the 2 Iron Kettle building and the Roundup building are approximately 4,000 square feet. Wow. And then you have the 2 bunkhouses. There's a little plaza there that has the fire pit and then labyrinth that is very critical, or a very important part of the program itself. So right. the 7 days are right there. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead. The 7 days
will take place at the ranch, and then the follow-up 90 days of the program is online through a MyPath program, and then that will be from their home. But then when the families come, they can come and utilize all of that space.
So what's your vision for families in terms of the bunkhouse, especially if they come with kids?
Yeah, so we're in, once we get the retreat done, we are going to, on that ranch, that beautiful picture you saw along the tree lines, we're going to build tiny homes like right across. You see the tree line in the back behind the pond?
Right here?
There'll be, yes, there'll be several tiny homes. So it'll be their own little home kitchen.
Oh.
They'll prepare their food. So they'll have access to the entire 65 acres.
Oh, that's fantastic. So I'm gonna stop sharing here for a second and come back. Here we are. That is just beautiful. And you know, I think all of us were pretty impressed at the groundbreaking because of your family's background in construction. Now, this is key, folks, because when you're talking about all of these programs, and I was online today and I did saw the like ground is being moved, construction is active. When you don't have to wait, you know, and turn that construction over to somebody else, it's key. You can move forward. You don't have to take a pause. Well, unless Texas throws you some crazy weather, which, hey, every 20 minutes, right? I would say probably a little bit different than Hawaii.
Yes, very different. It's a very consistent weather pattern here.
Okay. So what right now, what is in the completion process?
So right now we literally are getting ready to pour concrete for the foundations, and the buildings are, we partnered with Legacy Post and Beam, so they're kits. So we've pretty much designed it with them, and they'll deliver the kit. And we have a local general contractor that will organize the actual construction of them. The bunkhouses will be first, and then they'll move to the two larger buildings.
Wow.
And it's expected to be 6 to 8 months till completion.
6 to 8 months. I've heard of homes taking longer than 6 to 8 months. And this is an 11-acre build out.
Yes.
And then following that, you're going to move directly to the tiny houses, or that's going to be managed separately, or is that something that you're going to be doing at the same time with different folks?
No, we'll complete the 11 acres first, and then we'll go to the tiny home project. So it'll probably be a 6 to 8 month gap in between.
Okay. And Jessica, what is your role in all of this? Like I said, if you're just coming onto the show, we've got Dennise that's coming to us live from Hawaii, and Jessica is in Virginia.
So if anyone has worked in nonprofit, you have a title, but really you do whatever it takes to get the nonprofit going. So I'm really here from anywhere from customer service to fundraising to helping with create the website and social media. I am the marketing and communications director for the foundation, but I wear all of the hats to help wherever there's a need.
Absolutely. That's what running a nonprofit is all about. It's not like there's no staying in lanes. Everything is like this. The only lane is that leave it to your father-in-law to do the construction. Then everybody else is. Yeah. So how is time split between Hawaii and Texas? How is this working? And Virginia and Texas?
That's a really good question. So, we realized quickly that that's not working so well. We're flying back and forth regularly. So effective June, 22nd, I will be a resident of Texas and will have a home there near the ranch and be part of the community and help other organizations as well as our own. And Jessica will continue to do the flight pattern back and forth from Virginia, but her flight is much shorter than our flight.
Yes. It probably takes you a couple of days, Dennise, to kind of get the time zone right. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So as it stands right now, because when we showed up at the groundbreaking, we were trying to make sense of all the buildings. Obviously, the stables, easy. The stables, the ring, and then there was a separate house or separate structure that was there. Is that meant to? Is that the house that exists on the property, the ranch right now, but your parents aren't in it?
That is another great question. So the house came with the property when we purchased it, and the horse trainer and ranch manager lives in the house, and my in-laws actually live in the RVs that were on the side of the groundbreaking. So they've lived in the RV a little over a year, and they wanted to make sure that everything is good,
Sure.
and they just now I'll be transitioning into the house and the RV, so we'll all be kind of going back and forth, and it's only 15 miles away or 15 minutes away, so it's easy.
So you're the house that you purchased that you're going to be moving into.
Yes.
Okay. So you're doing this ranch, you're moving, I'd say across country, but it's longer than that, longer than 3,000 miles, and trying to manage all of this at the same time. For anybody listening, they'll be like, gosh, I don't know how you do it. Guess what, folks? When you have a big mission and a huge purpose, you move mountains to get done what you need to get done. That's just the way it is. And like I said in the beginning, this is a family affair. Did it start out with the intention of bringing your entire family involved in the process?
No, it did not. But when we went in June of 2021 and we met with, and we got a real understanding, me, my husband, and my son got an understanding of the program. We knew there was just this feeling that you knew that you wanted to be involved. And so we jumped in to help. And then I phoned a friend, my daughter, Jessica, and said, I need you. And she jumped right in as well. So then it's really been us going as a tight unit moving forward. But what we found in the last 6 to 8 months is there's an amazing community within Texas that wants to see this, and their support has been invaluable to the milestones that we have reached in the last year, and the groundbreaking wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for that community support as well.
Well, you definitely brought that aloha spirit to the ranch, and I will tell you that talking to the first responders out there and the veterans out there, we all felt it. There is a different you can go walk into somebody's classroom, walk into a police department, go onto people's property, and you can feel it viscerally. And when we all got out there, it was a true feeling of peace. I want to tell you that because with all everything that's going on and everything you're doing, it may not feel peaceful to you all because there's so much breaking up rocks and moving dirt and stuff like that. But it is truly a peaceful, special piece of property that you guys have, and what you're doing with Warrior Path and Boulder Crest and family R&R and opening your doors to more. Like you said, this is a community effort. People are going to have a true sense of healing out there and a true connection to land that like I said, it just feels different. It's a peace. It allows you to find some calm, some balance, and the whole concept of therapy, if you will, is not one size fits all. And recreational therapy has really moved in to create lasting change and growth for veterans and first responders. But it does take a special place to be able to pull that off. And my hat just goes off to you guys, because you definitely found it. Did you look at lots of property in Texas? Like, did you know that Texas was where you wanted to be?
My father-in-law found it, and ironically that you say the peace, Jessica, if you want to talk about it, but there's, in Hawaii, there's a term called kapuka, which, it's like a peaceful, protected oasis, so to speak. And the trees around the property, and then the property in the center, just seemed like it was its own little kapuka, a place that had that special feeling. And he saw that from the picture and fell in love, and that's how he picked it. Actually, he felt like it was a protected property and it had a special presence.
Wow.
And he bought it sight unseen. It was literally the picture.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's even more amazing. Because usually, when we're looking to buy something large, a large tract of land, you want to set eyes on it. So, did he look anywhere else, or did somebody say, "Hey, check this out"?
He had been looking for a long time in a variety of locations, but he had a connection to Texas with his heart. He loved Texas. He had been there. He's his dream was to be a cowboy. And so there's something about Texas and cowboys that kind of go together. And so he really was focused on Texas.
Well, and I think I read somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys actually have ranch land in Hawaii.
They do. They own 2.5 acres on the north shore of Oahu. And they have a horse arena that's not covered, but a horse arena and a little ranch there.
Okay. So they're not so far removed from, what a ranch is supposed to be. I would say the topography is completely different. So what were, since he saw the picture, and what is the word again? Kapui? Kipuka. Since he felt that, he saw that, was it even more ingrained, more the right feeling when he finally got there?
Yes. They just fell in love with the property. And in fact, they were going there just for a month, and they not really come back. They stayed. They're very committed and just really, really love that area and that ranch.
That's incredible. So did they get the RV here in Texas?
They had one brought in there. They had a son that had one in Salt Lake in Utah, and they drove that one down, and then they purchased one in Texas. So they have 2 RVs. One they use as an office, and the other one they live in.
Okay, great. Now it all makes sense. That's amazing. Wow. Jessica, again, you have to fly back and forth from Virginia, and yes, it is a little bit less of a trip. For you to stay connected to the retreat, being remote, how do you stay like so engaged?
I think I had the same experience that Steve did, that I saw a few photographs of it prior when I first started volunteering and helping, but when I got there, I was taken back by its beauty. And you know, my mom and I are very close, but even closer now. I think we speak to each other like 6 times a day. And same with Lily, we FaceTime, and I get to see daily pictures of what's happening at the ranch from all the horses. You know, I've been asking my mother for a horse since I was very little, and now there's like 30 horses at the ranch. So it's very easy for me to be like, okay, I'll come out.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, the horses, it's very special. I got to see the foal, the newest edition. I think that was a highlight for everybody there. And again, it just adds to the incredible special presence and feeling that is on that land. Just a really, not everybody gets to see foals, and it was almost I thought about how cool it was. It's like, here we have this beautiful little horse, and it's a new beginning, and we're having the groundbreaking, and it's a new beginning, and they're clearing, you know, the dirt, and it's a new beginning on the 11 acres. It all kind of comes together and makes sense. You had mentioned, Dennise, in the very beginning when I introed you all, that this was like a private funded. So we've got, is it like a private plus a 501c3? How is it structured?
It is a 501(c)(3), and the funds are right now, they're coming from, we have donors that are going. We have a current challenge, and then my in-laws donated the 11 acres as part of their donation, and then their construction, they actually personally secured the loan to start the construction. So we had a choice. We could wait and fundraise enough to help build it, or we could start building it and then fundraise. And we decided to do that. With the amount of suicides that are happening every day, we felt we need to step up and do it as quickly as possible to get these programs started. And so it's between them providing the funds to get started, and then donations from others to help, whether it's in-kind donations, monetary donations, volunteers. So that's kind of where the privately funded part comes from.
Okay, and on the website, you just mentioned volunteers. There will be an ability for folks to go on the website to fill out the form and volunteer. What kind of things are you looking for help with in terms of volunteering?
Well, when the actual program starts, the volunteers will help serve the meals at mealtime for the Warrior Path participants. They will help with we'll have archery. There'll be some recreational things that would need to be helped with the upkeep, as well as we'll have a hero's garden and a healing garden that would also need some volunteers to help maintain.
Yeah, and as we know that it was called the healing, and what was the other one?
The hero's garden.
Hero's garden. To have a program on site where that'll mesh together, because you really, it's clear that you guys have a heart for helping veterans, post 9/11 combat veterans and first responders. And then the healing part is, unmatched in the area. It's Ellis County, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So there isn't anything really available. And if you guys listening don't know where Ellis County is, so it's about an hour and change outside of Dallas. If you're further east like I am, it takes I think it took me an hour and 5 minutes to get to you all. Super easy to access. You don't need 4-wheel drive. And there's no elevation. You're not going into Colorado, so you don't have to worry about getting headaches or anything like that, or being out of breath. With the purpose behind what your in-laws saw, I got to talk to Lillian a little bit. She talked about 9/11 at the groundbreaking, and watching the memorial, watching the recap of all the events. Everybody remembers where they were on 9/11. She said, I didn't know anybody directly connected to 9/11, but they were drawn to do something. And John and I talk about that we don't really believe in coincidences, that you meet people when you're meant to meet people, and there's a reason behind it. So, Dennise, you and I talked a little bit, about my background. Lillian did not. So when she was finished at the mic and we kind of wrapped things up, I went up to her and I said, hey, you do now have a direct connection to 9/11. And she kind of was like, what are you talking about? And I told her my story, being in Tower 1 on 9/11. John as well, my partner, he was a first responder there, spent a lot of time at Ground Zero. And it was just a full circle. And she felt like, we had put the last puzzle piece. So there was no more, just watching the reruns of the documentaries and commemorating that day, that now there's a connection, and the connection lives in Texas. So it just is, Texas brings so many people together of like mind and of like heart. Besides the Warrior Path program and the family R&R, do you envision other things, going on at the ranch in between?
We have a couple of choices. So yes, we do. We can do other fundraising things when the family R&R is not taking place in the facility or path, or we could offer 2 programs a month versus 1. So there's multiple things that we can do with the facility. But we're just, right now we're focused on just those 2, but there will be time and availability to bring additional programs or additional resources into that facility.
That's great. And so for people that are like super excited, that they're like hearing this nature healing, my kind of thing, the kind of therapy that you get off the couch, or you're out and they're around horses. The folks, the retreat's not open yet. It's coming, 2023. And will the application process be through like Warrior Path? Will they go to Boulder Crest to apply for the program? And so they're like specifically handling that. And then Eagle Oak is kind of over here. So it's not overlap. Is that how it's going to go? Or can somebody reach out to you guys direct?
That's a really good question, because we're not built yet. So what if you need something tomorrow, you need this program? So you can go through our website and apply, and that link takes you to the Boulder Crest Institute, and they will talk to you and get you set up at one of the nearest location that has availability that works with your schedule until we're open. Once we're open, then we'll take over the application process. But they can go through our website, and Boulder Crest will find a location that could service them at no cost to them.
That's excellent. Okay, so folks, I put up the website. So it's eagleoakretreat.org. Again, you can reach out to them. Please understand that while they're not open, you're not alone. If you are needing assistance right now, they are well connected, and you can get in touch with the Warrior Path program. I happened to meet some folks that made the trip out from Grand Prairie. Some of your constables, the local Ellis County constables, were out, and a few other folks. And we all agreed that, super exciting times, that it is a program, again, like, I want to say it's like no other, because while there's ranches in and retreat centers in Texas, everybody brings their special niche, their passions, their heart to their projects. And so it's not one is better than the other. It's that the ability to work together for a common cause of healing our heroes, our veterans, and our first responders. It takes special people to do that. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and a lot of sleepless nights, and a lot of understanding that, you know, we're human and we're not perfect either. But again, it's working together. And I encourage everybody, check out their website, because this is a family project for these folks. This is not a, hey, we found a ranch, we bought the ranch, we want to do this construction, we go out and hire a separate company. We just have plans. We don't really have our hands in the dirt, so to speak. And you all do. And like I said in the beginning, it shows at every single level, even from the gift little goodie bags that we all walked away with from the groundbreaking, a piece of your heritage from Hawaii we got to enjoy and be a part of. And it really did make it special. The folks at Boulder Crest Institute, again, that's called the Warrior Path, and it's 2 H's. I'm sure if you spelled it with one, if you Googled it, you'd find it no problem. Is there, and the Family R&R program. Now I want to go back. I'm going to screen share again. Stand by. I can do this. I'm an expert now. Let's see. I want to talk about, you've got a special program going on called Thriving Heroes 2023. Okay. Talk a little bit about what you want to do and what Thriving Heroes is about.
Yeah, so we were opening next year, so 2023, and this was really a challenge built on us getting the community together. As you said, we're family, we're civilians who wanted to help, who wanted to do the right thing. We stepped up. We dived in 100%, and we want everyone to step up to that challenge and to help our heroes thrive beginning in 2023. And the challenge is to challenge each of you to help us increase the visibility and awareness of our mission, to help us educate others on the needs of the veterans and first responders, to help inspire others to give back to those who sacrificed for us. So this was a challenge that was really for us to bring in the community, because as a community, we can do anything. It takes a village. So
Amen to that. It surely does. Okay, so you can hashtag Thriving Heroes 2023 Challenge. Love it. Donate $20.23 today. It is as easy as, again, going on to their website, which is up here on the screen, eagleoakretreat.org. Donate $20.23. Be part of that 2023 challenge, and be a part of a community that helps make this 11 acres come to life. And tell everyone again what your goal is in terms of having the 11 acres done.
We really want to have it done by February, to host the first program February, March. That it's an aggressive schedule, but together we can make it happen, I think.
And are you gonna bring in any volunteers to once you get, the building's done, you get it dried in and everything, screwing in on the doorknobs to things and in
Painting.
the kitchen, putting the pots and pans, stuff like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
You don't think about those little details. You're like, oh, the building's up, but there's a lot more to do after the building's up.
Oh yeah, like light switches and all that little interior work, rolling out rugs, planting shrubs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious, the labyrinth, that is, however you labyrinth, wherever you are, as part of the world, however you pronounce it, that labyrinth, who is constructing that and what is it made of? It's fascinating.
Well, when we went to Boulder Crest and we were able to see theirs, it was lined with bricks in a specific pattern.
Okay, so we've got bricks, not bushes. Very interesting. I guess the bushes can grow together and create a dead end that you might not have intended. But okay, so that's gonna, and it's the same. It's gonna be the same at the retreat, right?
Correct.
Okay, awesome. Well,
and the reason for that is when you're walking it, there are to go back, all of it is ADA, and we needed to have bricks that we could move so that if someone was in a wheelchair or was not able to walk through the bricks, we could open up a path directly to them to get to the center.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I want to thank you guys so much tonight for being, I say, our guest, because John is here in spirit. He's flying in the air somewhere, and we are super excited for you. Any last things you'd like to say? Any special messages to the first responders and veterans listening?
No, we just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you, and we really just, you inspired us to do this. You didn't give up on your mission. We're not going to give up on this mission to make sure that we're here for you.
I love
That's really what it's about.
Jessica, anything to add?
Not after her, but no.
I know that was kind of like a mic drop.
I 100% agree. And thank you all for your service, and thank you for allowing us to help you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, guys. Again, the hour goes by quick when we're passionate about the topic and getting our messages across. So again, eagleoakretreat.org. You can go there, explore the site, donate. Got to get this done. Very short time frame by March 2023. Oh my gosh, it's June 1st, 2022. All right, so they got a lot to do. So get on over there and let's make this thing happen. Thank you, Dennise. Thank you, Jessica. We'll definitely be in touch. Have a wonderful evening. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, take care. Guys, what an amazing show with Dennise and Jessica from Eagle Oak Retreat in Ellis County, right here in Texas. I'm going to put up their website right here. Go to eagleoakretreat.org. Again, you've got the Thriving Heroes 2023 Challenge ongoing right now. So go ahead and be a part of that. You also see more pictures on there, read some stories, read more about Warrior Path program and everything that will be happening on the retreat grounds. And so I want to thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We came off an incredible path of ourselves. It's with Carry the Load, being nonprofit partners. I want to thank every single person who stepped up, who dug deep, who donated to our team. You absolutely made a difference, and first responders are going to benefit directly from your generosity. And, we don't quit, guys. We're going to turn everything that we did and all the good work at Carry the Load, and we're going to turn it right back into the community. Upcoming events, go to abadgeofhonor.com. We have an events tab. Click on it. Friday, June 10th, partnering with Mesquite Police Department. We have our 8-hour workshop. If you are a first responder, go to our website, register now. The workshop is open to all first responders. So if you can drive an hour and a half to be with us on June 10th for 8 hours, we've got TCOL credits because we're state certified, our program. So you will walk away with tactics, tools, and tactical skills to solve your stress at any level, whether you're dealing with the everyday stress that comes with being a first responder to the more serious stress dealing with awareness of trauma and how to manage that. Go to abadgeofhonor.com and click on events, sign up right now. We also feed you breakfast and lunch, so you will not leave hungry. The following day, Saturday, June 11th, we are teaming up with our partners at Heroes on the Water. Kayak fishing for first responders. This is the first kickoff event on Lake Ray Hubbard here in Rowlett. Those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, you see my backyard. That is Lake Ray Hubbard. We are going to be launching from a park nearby. All the details are on the website. So again, abadgeofhonor.com, click on events. You can register there. You're going to want to do that really quick because we only have 13 boats, and I'm hearing from Heroes on the Water that those spaces are running out quickly. So if you're a first responder, family member, first responder, bring the whole family, but go and reserve your kayaks, your boats, as we call it, and have our first event on Lake Ray Hubbard, June 11th. Coming up the 22nd of June, we also launch Walk the Bridge in Fort Worth at the 7th Street Bridge where the police memorial is. So we have got 2 Walk the Bridge events right here in Rockwall to Rowlett on Heroes Bridge and Heroes Memorial Bridge, and in Fort Worth the 7th Street Bridge. Both of those Walk the Bridge events are taking place at 6:30 p.m. sharp. Again, I'll just leave the website up here, abadgeofhonor.com. Click on events. They're all up there. I've got a jam-packed June. Police conference, East Texas Police Officers Association conference at the end of June. So we are all over the place, folks. We cannot do this without your help. And there's tons of ways to give, whether you want to donate and get a t-shirt, I'll mail that out to you, and show our first responders, remind yourself that you are not alone in this fight for mental health wellness. And if you shop on Amazon, go on and click on Amazon Smile, get started there. Every penny counts. It's tough times out there for our first responders and our veterans. Let's show them all the love and care they deserve. And until next time on Mad Radio, thank you again for joining us. First responders, we are praying for you every day. Again, this show is dedicated to all those lives affected by the tragic shootings in Uvalde. And God bless every single one of you. To our veterans, thank you for fighting for this country, for our freedom that allows us to do this and bring this show to you, and to our men and women on the front lines, overseas, everywhere. Thank you for keeping us safe, our shores safe, and the enemy at bay. And until next time, folks, this is Sam and John. If you can be anything in this world, be kind. Thanks so much.